Hey, welcome to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you by the coaches and clients of RT Fitness Durham, Sunderland and the Barbell Club, where we take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready. So before we start today's episode, we are now doing our January intake, which is Monday the 9th of January, on our 90-day total transformation across our Gilesgate, Durham and Southwick, Sunderland units. The link's in the description below, so click that. Go through, answer a few questions and book a call in with Sarah. On today's episode, we have another Meet Your Coaches. This is Durham coach Josh, absolute brilliant guy, started with us earlier this year and he's doing really good things for us in RT Fitness Durham. So listen to him and his story. Enjoy. Right then, Josh. Right then, who is Coach Josh?
Coach Josh, obviously at RT Fitness, Barbell Club, all that sort of stuff. I mean, also Obsidian personal training as well. Yeah, I mean, is that basic, yeah?
That's too basic.
Too basic.
Who is Josh?
Or just generally?
Yeah.
Okay. So...
if this is a Meet the Coaches, I am Coach.
I am Coach. I am Coach. This is me. Yeah. In what sense? That's
who are you? Well, what's your life like?
What's my life like?
Yes.
So, married, no kids yet, living in Durham, coach American football as a side thing as well. Been doing that 7 years. So, rugby player, obviously training in the gym and everything like that. And coach, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. That's in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, yeah.
So why did you want to become a coach?
So I originally was thought about becoming a coach when I was at university. So I was training quite hard, S&C gyms, stuff like that, and was really interested in it, like in the fitness side of things. And then life got in the way. I ended up going a different path and going mortgage advising instead.
Right.
Just fell into that because I needed a job when I'd left uni. And basically I was going to do an S&C course, but I didn't have any student loan left.
Right,
so
okay.
I was like, well, best go get a job there.
Yeah.
And then, so I've been coaching, like I say, American football-wise, 7 years now, like something like that. So it's something I've been doing for free.
Right.
For 7 years as, like, in sport. And then, basically, end of last year, my dad died and I just didn't want to go back to the old job.
Right, okay.
So, took some time off, thought, what do you want to do? And it was a choice between doing either sport coaching, like in schools, or personal training. And I thought, I'm going to be better off dealing with adults. Like, I don't think I could handle sports coaching with little ones. So
not yet.
Not yet, but yeah. So that's how I ended up
being a coach.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So so what's the passion behind wanting to be a coach though?
So for me, it's genuinely about helping people. And like, I know everyone says that, but taking away people's pains in their life, really. Like, if you can make someone's life better from 4 hours a week in here and make the rest of their life easier and better and like less any pain or anything like that, or whether that's psychological, mental, like any sort of pain point, trigger point, you can take that away. It's an impact in the world, isn't it? Like, in a sense, in a grand scheme, I want to have an impact on the world, and that's probably the best way that I can do it in something that I enjoy.
Mint.
Like,
so, what do you see as most unique or special about being a coach?
just the sort of, I don't think anything I've ever experienced has the same in-depth like relationship that you have with people.
Right.
Like any other job, you don't have that same amount of time with people to build a relationship and rapport and actually impact. Like, whereas like any other job, if you're only probably talking 5-minute interactions with everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're spending an hour 4 times a week with people, you can have a bigger impact on their lives in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which is probably spending more time with you than they do some of the family.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. What advice would you give to someone starting out as a coach?
Starting out as a coach, learn.
Right.
Don't stop learning, basically. Like, a qualification and a piece of paper only gets you in the door, really. Like,
Or does it?
or that might not even get you in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, practice, and it's just a case of taking the step and going, right, I'm doing this. I'm going 100%. I'm learning, and continue to build yourself. Practice what you need to. Practice all your coaching skills and everything like that. And it is just practice like anything else. Get your reps in.
Yeah.
Like, get your reps in. It's the same as anything else, you know? That would be my advice, really. Like, be open to it. Spend time with people and see what works and see what doesn't. Like, 'cause the only way you'll find out your own style is by trial and error.
Right.
Really. Like, that's the only way you're going to work out what you do.
What elements do you think they should learn then?
So, to coach, obviously,
Because it's
you
not
need
just
no, it's
what
not,
you
like,
know that now.
Yeah, you need to know, obviously, your basic knowledge of whatever you're coaching, for starters. You need to know that at a good level. But you need, if you're actually looking at coaching someone, you need to learn human psychology. Like, if you're talking in the fitness space, you need nutrition. Obviously, that's a thing. Why people do stuff, I think, is always a big thing. Like, I like reading about the psychology of sort of breaking down what motivates people to do things.
Right.
Like, whether that's on a global scale or
Uh-huh.
individual, and also your communication skills. So, learning how to crack on with people, basically, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what books has helped you with that part then?
So, good ones, I know we talk about it all the time, it is a massive book. Atomic Habits is great for
Right.
sort of building
Yeah.
blocks. Drive by James Pink is...
Right.
Is it Drive
haven't
or
read that
Driven? Drives by James Pink's really
Uh-huh.
good in
Right,
terms
okay.
of sort of human motivation
Right.
and stuff like that.
Reminders at the end.
Yeah, well done. And then so your normal sort of salesy ones for sort of human interaction, like
Right.
then your Dale Carnegie one, How to Make Friends and Influence People,
Right,
and all the
okay.
ones off the back of that. People have
Yes,
done
yeah,
ones
yeah.
off the back of that are basically the same but sort of modernised.
Right,
Like,
okay.
So I think, and then obviously thinking, I haven't read too much nutrition-wise that comes to mind,
Yeah.
thing-wise, but yeah, they're the main ones for like getting into someone's head. in a
Generally,
way.
nutrition books.
Nutrition
are more of
books
like
are just-
indexy type,
yeah,
like
Aye.
in-depth ones, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, that's it. So, like, you learn that a lot of that from sort of trial and error with yourself as well.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, don't you? You work
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
how it works for you and how best to pick that up. Yeah.
Sweet. So, what is the strangest or funniest thing you've seen happen in your job? Being a coach, not a mortgage advisor.
Funniest thing, strangest thing. That's hard. I'm trying to think.
Without dropping any clients in it.
Without dropping any clients in it as well, yeah.
Unless it's Sarah, then it's fine. Although your 9 o'clock group are quite colourful, aren't they?
They are fairly colourful, yeah.
Is that all right?
But-
Is 9 o'clock
9 o'clock's
barbell
fairly-
has a colourful language.
Yeah. I don't think I can think of anything really like that stands out as super funny in terms of things that have happened.
Right, yeah.
Like, obviously, you're constantly just cracking on, so there's always funny stories and that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, that you hear from people, but no, I can't think.
None of the 9 a.m.
Nothing.
shocked you?
Not with their actions.
Right, okay.
But no, they haven't shocked us really. No,
Right.
like
Okay.
no, so I can't think of anything in particular that stands out anyway.
Right. I mean, so you have been coaching the American football for up to 7 years, haven't you?
Yeah.
What significant changes have you seen let's say over those 7 years then, since you've been coaching from there then?
What,
Within the whole fitness industry?
Within the whole fitness industry, what we're in 7 years. Like, I think there's a lot, so especially since the last 2 years or so. I think it's a lot more tailored to actual advice on sort of, well, not advice, but like training for your life. Like, I think before probably COVID and stuff like that, realistically people were either bodybuilders or athletes or powerlifters.
Right.
Like, that might just have been the space that I was in.
Yeah.
So it might not be the case. You might not think that, but that's sort of what I thought. Like, you were either training for aesthetics or you're training to be faster or stronger.
Right.
Like, I feel like there was less people training just to be healthier in that sense.
Right.
Like, or especially lifting weights wise.
Okay.
Like, I think that's changed quite a bit since people have had more time to sit and think about what they actually want and the sort of health scare of the lockdowns and all that jazz.
Right, yeah.
Going, well, actually, I want to be running about when I'm 70.
Right.
Like, I think that's changed. Or that might just be, like I say,
So what's that changed to then?
That people are training because they feel better when they train, and they feel training for life and longevity, I think, more, rather than thinking, I'm training to look a certain way. I mean, that still exists.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more people shifting to that spectrum.
So more people shifting towards like a health.
Like overall health,
rather
than
I've got
I want
to
a
lose
six
10
pack.
pounds.
Right. This. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, again, you might not have seen the same, but I feel like it's a change.
I mean, I think definitely, especially when the lockdowns, you've seen more people get out and walk.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was forced upon us to do that. But I think, I mean, I didn't really think about that, to be fair. But people have more went towards steps.
Yeah.
And becoming active, which in turn is health in a sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know about health-wise, because I think it's still people just want that goal. I mean, people like to go out and get the walk because I think now the 10,000 steps is getting ingrained a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been there, but I think it's slowly getting put in there more by a lot more popular people who just scream like you need up 24/7, stuff like that. But I don't know, I'm still not convinced on the health front, because you see people who were classed as, what was the word, what they were classed as, like when they got locked down?
Comorbidity and stuff like that, or vulnerable.
Vulnerable. So those vulnerable people are those overweight people who got told to stay in for the first 12 weeks. I've seen a lot of them. Like, I know one lad who was massively overweight and he got put into hospital, got put on a ventilator, the lot, and he's only my age.
Aye.
And he's still exactly the same shape now.
Yeah.
Even though he was like at the extreme end of COVID where
Aye.
that, and this is what I see.
Yeah, like obviously it's going to be based on what you see, and it's always going to be anecdotal. Like, so like one person's story isn't necessarily it might just be that social media algorithms, I don't know, have took me down that route, so I see that more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's probably potentially what it is as well. You know what
Maybe,
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
because I think people went that one or two ways within the COVID as well, didn't they? So they went like either took the health upon themselves or drank themselves stupid.
Aye.
And because we come out of COVID with people, these two are fucking laughing on in the background. we come out of COVID, even with our clients, I know you weren't with us at the time, but we come out of COVID with clients who'd either gained a shitload of weight or who went for it. Like, we had some mint results. So people either did or didn't.
I think even for me, I did. Like, obviously, 2020, I was 19 stone.
Right, okay.
And I just got engaged. It was like, I mean, it was partially athletics as well. I looked at the photo and went, you're way too fat right now. Like, you're too heavy, you've let this go on too long. So I set about changing. But I also went, I'm going to get married, probably thinking like family in the future, all this. I don't want to be knackered when I'm 50.
Right.
So I obviously dropped a good chunk of weight.
Yeah.
About 4.5 stone.
When was that
of
then?
weight. So from when I got engaged to when I got married. So what's that? October 2020 to October 21. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right, sweet. Yeah.
So, and it was okay. But that for me was like, I don't want my knees to be shot when I'm 50.
Right.
It was literally a case of being health focused rather than aesthetic, because it was like, when Mrs. likes us as I am, no matter what anyway.
Yeah,
She said yes.
Well, you've got a
she
buffer
said
now.
yes
You've
now,
got a buffer
so,
now.
Exactly.
You can go up to 19 stone
exactly.
anytime now.
Exactly. Get eaten.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So maybe, and that might have, my own change and influence might have actually influenced what I think about the space as well, about fitness industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it is like, because obviously as well, like say we're surrounded by a lot of people, a lot more people doing weightlifting.
Yeah.
We could automatically think, well, weightlifting's on the rise.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It is your surroundings
yeah.
and who it is or what you're doing personally, because you think, because then you're looking into that, so it's like everything pops up, like you said, with the algorithms.
As well.
Interesting. So, am I on the last one here? I think I am. Short and sweet. So, what do you see as the common trends in coaching or in the fitness realm?
So I think people probably want to be coached more.
Right.
I think from that sense, I think there's a lot of people that, again, that might just be because of the way that people were around.
Yeah.
I feel like people are less actually want to be coached and be told what to do / how to do it right, rather than the amount of swathes of people that just go into a gym and walk around sort of almost aimlessly, not knowing what they're doing.
Right,
I think there's a sort of actually people want to make that investment in themselves and go, right, I'm going to learn how to do it right. Like, I'll invest for X amount of months, learn how to do it right, and then that'll set us up as well.
Right.
Again, that might just be because all our sessions are coached. It might just be that I see. But so I think that, and then I do think the fitness space is moving towards the sort of training to make yourself feel better,
Right.
rather than to make yourself look better, shall we say. I know the two go hand in hand sometimes with certain people, but I think, like, I know for me, if I don't train, I'm proper stroppy. Like, I'm just not as good a person to be around. Like, so I know that I need to train to make everything else easier. You know what I mean? So I think there's a shift into that frame. Yeah, that's where I think it's going.
Right.
But might be wrong. Might be wrong,
no.
obviously. But
Actually, one more, and then you can then for the next time you're on, I can call you on it.
okay.
What's your current goals?
You know,
Fitness goals.
I haven't really got one. Like, I am just training because I enjoy training.
Right.
Like, gonna cut down a little bit in January.
Right.
With the rest of the clients.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually dial everything in and cut down. Like, I'm probably eating to build a little bit before then now.
Right.
But I don't think I can get much bigger without just getting fat.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, muscle wise. So I'm going to cut down in January just to, more for, not even for an aesthetic goal, it's more just to as a challenge.
Right, okay.
Like, just to me go, right, I'm going to challenge myself for 3 months. Right,
Yeah.
I'll, like, diet down, get as lean as I can, just for that. And also as an empathetic. Obviously, I feel like if I'm coaching someone who's going through a heavy diet or
Which
whatever,
they are,
like, I feel like I need to have done that.
Yeah.
And I've never really been that lean in my life. Like, I've been a rugby player, so I haven't needed to be.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had abs on out like that. So it's a nice challenge for myself. That would be my current goal. But in terms of actual training, just training because I enjoy it, really. Like, and I think that's a good way to be for life, rather than constantly chasing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pros and cons in both, aren't you? Because you can get really motivated and chase a current goal, but you need to set yourself up for 40 years rather than the next 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah, so when I'm all like
Leaned out.
in
Yeah.
March, and
We'll see it. But it's going to be good, obviously, with you doing it with the clients, because you're right, empathetic point of view.
Aye. Like,
Perfect,
I know
Josh.
you did it on the first one, didn't you?
Yes,
like,
I.
So yeah,
was fucking
I feel like it's one of them where you've got to have done it to know.
Yeah.
As well, like, you've got to actually diet down and give it some.
Sweet.
Yeah, spot on.
Thank you very much.
No problem.